My name is Skalk van der Merwe. I've met most of you before. I'm the Director of Marketing and Sales at WeconnectU, and it's my absolute privilege to be your host this morning. Today's session, Unveiling What's Next, is exactly what we're stating with the topic. Unveiling what's next, sharing what's coming next in our journey together. We've had many requests through our last two surveys that we've sent out to most of you, and thank you to those of you who have completed those surveys over the last month to ask us, guys, what's next? And given the feedback we received from you, we were like, let's do this and show you what's next and what's coming, to create a bit of excitement and also for you to sort of know how you can position yourself in 2026. Just a promise and peace of mind, these new enhancements will not be live tomorrow. So we will have a normal month end and we will be launching or making live these new features or new workflows in November. You will have the time and choice when you want to opt in, but I'm sure after seeing what we've done in the last few months, you will probably wanting to get this done ASAP. So very excited to share some great enhancements that the team has done behind the scenes. And I want to say this, that the engineers don't often get recognition for what they do. They're not facing the clients, but I want to say today to the engineers, guys, well done for what you've done behind the scenes. I know the work is hard, but you really help us to continue to shape the future of property management. So just to again say, we know it's month end. So we want to stick to our time this morning, but want to create a bit of excitement of what's coming. So you will receive at the end of the event, you will receive an opportunity to book yourself onto the training sessions where we go in depth of what we've developed. Today will be a high level and we'll create a bit of just sort of for you to see what's coming. The detail of what we've done will be showcased in the online training sessions in November. I want to state this, our mission has not changed. We want to help create more valuable and valued property managers. How do we do that at WeConnectU? We are a tech software company that provide tech that enable you, not replace you, enable you to showcase and present yourself as a professional to the industry. We're not saying you're not professional, but we do know how much admin and how much work goes behind the scene just to arrive at the end of the month to send the statements out. So we're putting tools in your hand to position yourself as the professional, the rental asset manager, not just the administrator. And in that way, we do know that your fees will increase. I want to tell a quick story, and this is not part of my preparation this morning, but when we still had our rental business many years back, about 7 years back, my brother, who acts as the MD today, came to us and said, guys, we are going to increase our fees from 8 to 11%. And we managed at that time a book of about 400 properties. I'm sharing this story just to position what we've done, and it's not trying to achieve something in the market that's never been done before. And we asked my brother Jan, but why from 8 to 11%? We're going to lose our business. And he was confident that it will not be the case. And in those days, we still did what we do today do with technology or with the software. We did it manually with Excel spreadsheets. And that was to help our team position themselves as asset managers. Now, just for a moment, say the word out loud. I'm a rental asset manager, or just asset manager. If you say that, it must sort of do something to you. It could possibly be intimidating. But you guys are asset managers. You guys are managing the asset of an investor. It's not a landlord. It's an investor who expects something from this investment called the asset. So you are an asset manager. For those of you who have not adopted that, about 40% of our client base have already adopted towards the asset management. I want to really challenge you and encourage you. That is where we're going as an industry, and tech will help you achieve that. Good. So enough with that. So we've done the price increase, and we've only lost, I think it was 8 or 9 properties. And I know my previous team that I managed are online this morning, and they are witness to this. We only lost 8 out of almost 400 properties, because what we've done in terms of delivering value and communicating our value was enough to say our fees are not negotiable. So we want you to be more profitable as a business, and that's what we do. We get up in the morning to make you more compliant, more scalable, more manageable, and more profitable. You can keep us accountable to that. So what you will see today is not just new technology, it's innovation designed to help you to demonstrate professionalism, to save you time, and to strengthen relationships with your clients through better collaboration, and here's the key word, through meaningful and better conversations. That's what we want to enable you to have, more conversations that build trust and help you to have strong relationships, and in that way, not losing business and increase your business through by word of mouth. John, JP, welcome. While you guys join us, WeconnectU, we are proud to be a company that offer 3 solutions in property management. We have a community management solution, rental asset management solution, also RedRabbit, our inspections and maintenance solution. But today, we're going to be focusing on our rental asset management solution and RedRabbit, and that's why John and JP, product managers, are here today. Guys, welcome. Thank you for making time this time of the year. I know you're busy with business plans to join us. I would like you just to quickly set the expectations of what our audience, the people joining us this morning, what they can expect from today's session. So John, JP, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for the introduction, and also just a warm welcome again to we have over 420 participants live at the moment. So just another testament to the great clients we have and really coming through to listen to what me and John and you have to say today. So really a big thank you to all of them who took the time to listen to us today. So yeah, RedRabbit, short and sweet. We're going to jump straight into it with what we call Enterprise Insights. And what is Enterprise Insights called? Enterprise Insights is essentially turning the data of the average rental agency today into insightful data that the rental agency can use to make real-time decisions based on real-time data in their business. No, it's not static reporting. It's not a PDF report. It's real, dynamic, high-level reporting, that which we like to call in RedRabbit actionable intelligence. And ultimately, that's the bridge between inspections and maintenance and getting to the rental asset manager mindset within the Enterprise Insights mindset. And then second to that, Scott, we'd like to launch something that we're quite proud of, which is called Quick Views. And what is Quick Views? Quick Views is essentially a pre-configured overview of RedRabbit, but just another iteration of RedRabbit where we're trying to save the rental agency and the rental manager today a lot of time, where they don't have to sift through multiple lines of data and multiple views. They can quickly define the views they like to enjoy in RedRabbit, and just from there, just save a host of time. And that's ultimately what we want to do in RedRabbit, is get you to the 4-day work week that you have promised in multiple webinars this week.
I have made a lot of promises, and we will get there. Good. John, you can give us a sort of quick overview from what's happening on the rental asset management side.
Yes, Scott. So today we will be unveiling our new intuitive payments workflow. So after our clients have processed more than 82.5 billion rand on rental payments since our launch in 2020, this kind of volumes has given us a lot of insights onto what works, where the friction lies, and what today's property professionals ultimately want and need from their payment management solutions. So yeah, 82.5 billion rand, it's a staggering figure, climbing daily, and just showing you testament to our clients' amazing growth. On the second side, Schalk, we will be focusing a little bit on the investor reporting. So our clients have very much asked for the investor reporting. The investor reporting is really something new, best in class. We totally overhauled the layout, and it's just easy to understand, drill down detail. You can disable, customize as you feel, and insights communicating your value, like the true rental asset managers that you truly are. So yeah, Scott, we are excited to launch this.
So there's a quick overview of what we'll be dealing today. That's our agenda for today. RedRabbit Insights, quick views, payments reimagined, and John, the 82.5 billion. That figure is just some. I just have to pause when I hear that figure, and I think this would not have been possible without our clients. So I want to, from our side, say thank you to our clients for trusting us and for walking this journey with us to date. We would not have been processing this money without your commitment and your involvement on this journey. So thank you to all of you for doing that and being part of the journey. John, I'm going to, so if we talk about the payments reimagined and also the other enhancement, take us just a bit of why we're doing this. What's the why behind what we're launching and introducing today?
Cool. Yeah, so before we jump into the payments, let me just highlight that at WeConnectU, we always build everything through the lens. You mentioned it earlier, making our clients more manageable, compliant, scalable, and ultimately leading to profitability. This is what we strive to do, and we do it through the ultimate rental ecosystem. So, ladies and gents, for those of you not making use of the full ecosystem yet, I think you are losing out on the ultimate efficiency. Our top 20% of clients utilizing
John,
the full
I think
ecosystem.
it's just me, or you're breaking up.
Okay, you guys can hear me? Testing. Okay, cool. Great stuff. So yeah, our clients on the top 20% of the
John, we can hear you
ecosystem
now,
adopters.
but you did break up a few.
All good.
We
It's
can hear
growing
you.
with about
You can
30% annually. And yeah, this doesn't come from just anything. So our ecosystem, from tenant vetting with integrated credit check, managing your leases, you never forget to escalate ever again. Full rental management on the accounts with our integrated banking solution, automated billing, rental portfolios management has never been easier. With confidence, you can now communicate your value to the investors. Our integrated RedRabbit maintenance, with inspections, world-class app, and ultimately ensuring compliance stays up to date. So yes, this is what we offer from an ecosystem perspective. In the end of the presentation, you will be getting a link to a QR code. Should you not be able to access that, please visit our website. Our lovely BDMs are waiting to hear from you guys. So yeah, Skulk, let's jump in to what we do, how we do it. So if we look at what we do versus how we do, every year we do research and we check why clients are losing mandates. One reason remains the same, that the investors opt to manage sales. The landlord investor opts to manage self because they're not feeling value for the 8 or 10% commission that they are ultimately paying. So an investor walks into Allen Gray, they've got a guy or a lady with a suit, and they get professional reporting. They've got a risk profile that they dictate. And the same person walks into agency, and the agency is typically treating tenfold the amount of value in a property that the investment company will do, but they get immediately downgraded to a landlord. And we'll find them a tenant, and we'll do maintenance and manage arrears. But ladies and gentlemen, this is how we do it. But what we ultimately want to do is to optimize return on investment, reduce the risk, guide the client on portfolio growth, and professional reporting. So it's still what we do, but it's just with this different lens. And this is what we've looked at from a payments perspective as well. So like I said, processed more than 82.5 billion rand worth of payments since inception. So if I can just go to the payments page. Payments Reimagined is not just about API-driven bank integrations or automated reconciliations, unified intuitive workflows that leads to serious scalability. But ultimately, it's about keeping the concept of asset management in the forefront of your daily processing, because this is how you're going to communicate your value ultimately to your clients. So think intuitive dashboards that help you manage effectively. If we see at the top, really easy to understand what's going on. Lastly, think payment reserves. You can speak about maintenance. You can set proactive reserves to manage that, that pesky maintenance ticket that continues to pop up. Now you can go to your investor and say, hey man, let's do a maintenance plan. Let's do proactive maintenance. We can probably get more rent, increase the yield on the property. This is the type of insights that an investor is expecting of the industry to give to them.
John,
Then, yes, Scott.
on this, maybe just from the survey we've done last year and this year, many people have mentioned to us that a big challenge to the rental agents, the asset managers, is that landlords, investors never want to spend money on maintenance, or they never have money to spend on maintenance. And we have these powerful inspections that showcase exactly the state of a property. And the question was, how can you help us to motivate to our investors, how we can help them to save money towards a project? And I think this is partly how we're solving the issue of helping investors to save money towards a bigger project. And in that way, I do know that we help them with the vacancy, not having vacancies, and also help them to, when the conversation come with regards to renewal and increases, that the tenant is happy with the increase because there's continuous maintenance done on the property. So just from what you've done here with regards to the reserve fund and how we keep a wallet, that is addressing that issue that many of our clients face.
Yeah, 100% Scott. And then what's more, if we go to the next, is if you had the permission, for example, imagine paying yourself your hard-earned commission, paying the investors, third parties, so the municipality fees, etc., keeping a reserve fund and paying the balance to the investor all in one intuitive process. So one click of a button, and then if you have the permissions, you can even approve that all on the same page. So now we are pulling the payments approval as well as the payment history page onto the one screen, so the entire workflow can be completed in one process. So that's going to sound like a serious amount of time that we are saving, but it's ultimately going to lead to a more compliant environment where clients can make sure that they don't forget to pay anything, make sure that the data that they're processing is ultimately going to lead to a meaningful conversation at the later stage. So that is what we're going to speak about in the second section, is the how are we going to communicate that value.
Just go back to the previous slide. The enhancement that we've made here is, you mentioned with one click, after obviously ensuring that the rules are set up, payments are done. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Clark. So we can, with one click, transfer all funds to and from wallets, as well as create all the payments. And then if you had the relative permissions, you can approve those all in one go. So really reducing the time spent on payment processing significantly, and not just making it quicker, but making it easier to understand, making it more efficient, and just an overall better experience that leads to a great conversation and data that is processed on a report that we will show you in a second.
Good.
All right, so moving to our new investor report. So ultimately, this is the report that now will replace what we call the landlord statement or the owner statement. It is honestly something that is seriously valuable. We've really taken a complete overhaul on how we look at this. Easy to understand, even for those really challenging investors that don't understand anything. There are segments that are customizable, so you can honestly change any of the main components that are on this screen and enable, disable if you want more detail or less detail for specific investors. Also, making it easier to communicate what is going on in that specific property. And then lastly, your investor experience that you're giving to the client, ultimately making informed decisions in the end. Are we going to need that maintenance because my yield is a bit too low, so that I can increase the rent? This is insights that ultimately you now are able to give to the investor, and you are going to be then acting as the rental asset manager that you truly are.
I think just looking at this, also feedback from our clients over the last 2 years, the request was, how can we help our investor and tenant to better understand their statements? And what I just see here, John, is opening up a better conversation with our investor. I think this is what's presented here is really taking us to that level of let's talk asset, let's review the investor's asset and the performance thereof. So I absolutely love this, John. Just help me with, they will receive this every month. We've had
Correct,
the
Scott.
investor report for long. Just help me the difference between this and obviously the annual report that we provide to our clients.
Okay, if we go to the next slide, the annual report, Scott, this is a different conversation. The previous report is a monthly report that the investor gets on a monthly basis that shows them exactly what's going on a monthly basis in their property and how things are progressing with their property. But we still ultimately want and encourage our clients to use the asset management reporting. This is an annual conversation that happens with your investor. This is where all the value that the investors don't see when they pay the 8 or 10% commission can really be showcased. This is where your expertise and your professionality as a property professional comes through, and you're able to guide the investor on exactly what's going on in their property. What is the plan for the year going forward, and how are we going to, as a team, manage and reduce risk so that we can ultimately grow their portfolios? Think of, for example, if your capital growth is going into a really high number, it gives you the ability now to say to a client, you've got an additional capital in this property. There's investment properties on our portfolio that's for sale. Let's see if we can gear your property and get you a second or a third property. And now you're acting as an asset manager. You're growing portfolios. You're reducing risk. And that's ultimately what we think and feel the investors are actually wanting from the industry. And we are going to enable you with the tools to do that.
That's John. This is if you just go back to the previous slide. I think the amount of work that went into this, and I think many of our clients online today were part of the journey to build it the way we obviously presented here. Can you maybe just give us, in terms of time saving, and also, how would you say efficiency and time saving is involved with what we're doing here?
So, Scott, these reports go automatically out to the investors on a specific set date that you set on your solution, and you will ultimately not have to click a single button to be able to communicate these reports. So on a monthly basis, this report will automatically be sent to all investors on the date set as per the configuration that you've set on that specific investor or on a global scale. So it's really going to be something that you are just going to be processing. And from your processing, ultimately, this is going to lead to that automatic communication that is going to happen on the set date. So really world-class. And
So I want to say this.
A lot of time.
If you put this in my hand today, and I've never heard of the words return on investment or yield, it might be sort of a fear factor here. Is that are people opting in for that? And is it a journey? And there will be training involved, and how are we going to communicate that to our clients?
Correct, Scott. So most of the components, like I said, on that report is a opt-in in terms of the component on that report.
Yes.
Ultimately, it is a journey to get our clients to understand exactly what they're communicating. But to start off with getting the data, that's the most important. If your data processing is sound, then that report's going to be accurate. Most of it is self-explanatory. These days, we've got Google and ChatGPT at our fingertips with voice recognition. And yes, that's an amazing thing to ultimately very easily go and explain to someone with a little bit of research. But in our webinars coming up, we will have a few sessions where we actually go through this. So look out for our existing clients. You will be receiving invites really soon to a few workshops that we will actually workshop the topic of asset management and explain again what is yield, what is capital growth. And then lastly, we also have a lot of material available on our website that is easy accessible for our clients to be able to understand exactly what these documents are.
So if I just hear you, John, this is where, going back to the ultimate end-to-end ecosystem, how you cannot deliver what you've just communicated without an inspection that ultimately lead to maintenance. So all maintenance, all expenses are pushed into this report. I do believe that the investor, if they do additional expenses, can also update the report and get an accurate representation of the performance of the asset, right?
100%. So the annual investment report, it's an interactive report that the investor can actually go and populate additional expenses that is typically managed outside of the solution. Think of insurance that he pays on his own, just to make sure that that calculation is extra accurate. In terms of the maintenance, due to our integration with RedRabbit, we are able to ultimately process all the data that comes from RedRabbit. Think if a maintenance process has been completed, that invoice needs to be paid, you can now push a button directly from RedRabbit. It pushes to RAMS, to the rental management solution, and ultimately process the funds. That will obviously also reflect then in the monthly investment report under the maintenance category, and very easy for an investor to see why he's maybe got 2,000 Rand less this month. Well, I can see there's an invoice. Or if it was the tenant side, you will be able to see the tenant has paid for the investment on terms of the maintenance.
I'm going to just maybe say this. This is how you are going to differentiate yourself from the competitors. And we are helping you here to have powerful conversations and for you to really be taking that hat of rental asset manager. So less intimidating, because you're communicating value to your client. So John, well done for what you guys have done there. I think that's world class.
Thanks.
I'm going to ask JP to maybe come back and join us. John has just highlighted a few efficiencies or enhancements that they've done on their side. Can I ask you, JP? There we go. You can see your face, and we can trust me. We can hear you as well this time. Can I just ask you to take us into the? I know you're going to maybe a short background, but just lead us into the new enhancements that we've done on RedRabbit.
Well, Skalk, I think you just mentioned already, spoke about the RedRabbit and the rental asset management integration, which you just alluded to. I think, as everybody know by now, is that this is so much more than just a generic API between two solutions. This is literally two solutions that was built to function as one. I think that's the big difference between a RedRabbit and a rental asset management integration. We're really actively thinking about putting ourselves in this physical seat of the rental agency or the rental asset manager when they do inspection, when they complete maintenance. Ultimately, how does an inspection look when it becomes a maintenance ticket? How does a maintenance tickets get paid? So we're really putting ourselves back into that physical chair to complete solutions that really cater to the market of a rental asset manager. So yeah, I just want to really highlight again that the integration between the two is really seamless. And then yeah, RedRabbit today is the most advanced integrated inspections and maintenance solutions that we are aware of globally. And ultimately, our drive in RedRabbit is to save you time and put real value in the palm of our hand. And that's ultimately the drive in RedRabbit and where we're focusing on for the future. Skalk, I think everybody in Rabbit is getting a little bit over my story of value and innovation slide, because it's in every single webinar we do in Rabbit. And there's method to
JP,
my
I
madness.
want to stop you there. It's good to see this, and I think the amount of work that's been done, especially over the last year, and maybe before you go into this, maybe just to address the audience, I think I've said before, we are humans and we are striving for perfection, but we do make mistakes, and we do work with tech that sometimes we have, we call the word bugs. We hate the word bug, but it does happen. So JP, I know that some of our clients have mentioned on this journey of value innovation, the new releases. There was just two things that they've mentioned I want us to address this morning, is the white lens on some of the mobile phones. And also, I think someone mentioned last time that the syncing was sometimes slow. Can you just give us feedback on that, and then you can take us into obviously what we've done recently and how we're launching insights.
Yeah, thank you, Scott, for bringing that up. I think the one thing we try to do in WeConnectU is call it problems head on and address that as transparent as possible. Yeah, there has been a few it popped up in our survey questions as well. Some questions regarding the wide angle in the new inspections app, and the answer is short and sweet: is that to date the wide angle is available in some releases of the RedRabbit inspections app, mostly coming down to the phone that I have in the hand. We're also dependent on a library that we use in both our Android and our iOS versions and Huawei as well. And what we ultimately do there is we're dependent on that third-party library to, to do a wide angle or zoom lens. And unfortunately, that's quite phone specific at the moment. So some phones would have one angle today, and some phones would not have one angle access. But what we do know is that in the short term, we're working on enabling a native camera access on most of our phones in the hands of our inspectors, and that ultimately is our drive to enable wide angle in most of the phones that using RedRabbit inspectors have today.
So JP, in short, we it will be available on all devices. It is on, I think, 90% of our clients, there's no issues, but the 10% that's still missing, we are working on it and we will resolve that. Is that what you're saying?
100% what we're saying, and we're really proactively working on it. And yeah, just to answer the more important one that you popped out today, and we really want to address it head on, is the potential syncing issues that you spoke about. We are fully aware that there's been some edge cases where the syncing has either been a little bit slower than expectations, or where when especially when you upload the inspections just after you complete it. And our team, are very proud to say, worked really tirelessly around the clock to make improvements on the syncing. And what's most important to me today, Skalk, is that every single RedRabbit customer today on this call, please go to your Play Store or your Apple Store and update your RedRabbit app to the latest version, which is 4.4.14. Don't quote me on that, but the latest one. And we are very confident, Skalk, that in this latest version of RedRabbit, the syncing will be substantially better. And we're quite confident that most of the syncing solutions will be resolved in this latest version. I just wanna
Great.
just wanna highlight again, Scott, that yeah, we're humans, and ultimately RedRabbit has a very large user base, so it's very difficult to test every single phone and right across the board. But when we realize these issues and when our customers call us on these issues, we really react with speed and we really try
Yes.
to solve as much problems as we can in the shortest space of time.
Again, I think a big thank you to the engineers. I think 8 clients reported that, and I think, thank you for addressing it within a week. We appreciate that. JP, this year, just taking off the journey of value innovation, you've launched ticketing on the go, both when our asset managers or inspectors are on a job, or when they get back to the office where they can take an inspection and log tickets. Just quickly take us highlights through that, and then we can get James on the call to help us with what we're doing today.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I think the story about innovation has been really a testament to RedRabbit and our great engineers and even our greater customers, who's really empowered us to deliver substantial value over the last decade. But just in this year, we've really brought them down and delivered some really features that makes a real difference in our customers' world, and also tangible value in the palm of your hand. If you look at the slides now showing it's ticketing on a go, which we launched earlier this year in March, which is an industry first solution and really speaks to our market leadership and where we try to take the industry. But ultimately, we bottom down, listen to the customers a little bit deeper, trying to establish and solve the problem of inspections to maintenance, because obviously we integrated solutions today. And that ultimately led us to the second part, Sharice, if you don't mind skipping to the second slide. That ultimately led us to go deeper into ticketing on a go and launch a little bit earlier later this year or a month ago, we launched ticketing on the go, tickets from inspections, which just speaks to the mindset of WeConnectU, where we're trying to go deeper into a customer's problem and really solve that problem from A to Z. Because we know today, looking from data, speaking to clients, that ultimately inspections drives maintenance. And for the clients that hasn't used the tickets from inspections, please use it. Give us some candid feedback, because the ones that have used it has told us it's really an absolute game changer. So yeah, that just speaks to what we've delivered year to date in RedRabbit.
Well done with that. And again, I can say that the feedback we received from clients who are using it is world class. I think about 40% of our clients already adopted this. And the new inspection app, I think 80% of our clients have adopted that. So again, if you want to talk to our team after the event, please do that. We're happy to show you what we have done and how you can access these powerful features. Toby, JB, take us into what are we unveiling today?
Well, Scott, before we dive into what we're doing today, I'd like just to throw a problem statement out, which I know everybody in the school knows very well today, is the life of the busy agent on the go, which we've really spoken about a lot this year. But speaking to more and more RedRabbit clients later this year, saying, JP, it's not just a busy agent. Everybody's busy in in a rental agency today. And a property manager today is inundated with, chasing mandates. He's on the road. While he's chasing mandates, he's trying to grab a lunch. While he's trying to grab a lunch, his phone is ringing. He has notifications from inspections, his notifications from potential maintenance. So we know the average property manager today is really busy. He's inundated with notifications. He's very busy. And we thought to ourselves, how can we solve this problem of busyness? And what can we do from a WeConnectU perspective to bridge this gap for the busy agents on the go? Sharish, you can maybe pop the next slide for us. And we said, you know what, today in WeConnectU, we know there is a better way. And what is the better way? The better way is becoming a rental asset manager. Scott, you spoke about earlier today, and you said to, speaking from your own, your own experience, but being in the seat, is that the better way is rental asset management. And how do we do that? And the answer is short and sweet. It's called RedRabbit Insights. What is RedRabbit Insights? It's essentially live dynamic data, live dynamic reporting, live dynamic analytics that ultimately bridges the gap between an inspector and a maintenance manager and ultimately gets that to the level of being a rental asset manager. We're giving you data to make decisions based off data, not only just from assumptions. If you look at the left to right, all the functionality that we've built into the RedRabbit Insights, we have improved global home dashboard. You will see, our clients will see a brand new home dashboard. We have both broken it down, both in inspections and maintenance insights. And with that, you have easier access to portfolios. And when you go to the actual inspection or maintenance dashboard within RedRabbit, you have the quick views functionality, which we spoke about earlier today. And ultimately, that drives the mindset of a rental asset manager. You want to have a compliance overview, you want to manage your assets better, and also ultimately, you want to manage your team better and give data to the team to say, listen, team, we can make these improvements to ultimately get us to a better place and becoming a better rental asset manager.
Okay, so I want to see this.
Skulk, as usual, we have come prepared because we know by now that every time RedRabbit launches a feature, you want to see it. You want to see it. And I'm going to bring James Jansen van Rensburg on the call, who is our
James,
customer
welcome.
success team lead and is responsible for bulk of the training of RedRabbit. And we're going to do something very brave today, Skulk. We're going to do a live demo. No pre-recordings, no videos, no
No excuses.
off the
Let's
cuff.
go.
We're going to No excuses. Live into James's RedRabbit training profile, and we're going to do a live demo and show you how brave we are today in WeConnectU. James, take
James,
us
all
away.
yours.
Right, hi everybody. And just from a personal point of view, I'm really excited to bring you this feature. For those of you not in the know, it's been a little bit of an inside joke. If James could ask for one feature, what would it be? And that feature would typically be something that is reporting related. And that is what we are bringing you today. It's called, as JP said, Enterprise Insights. Hopefully everybody can see my screen now. It's the
Yes, we
RedRabbit
can.
home dashboard. And as you can see, it has been revised with Enterprise Insights. Now, as a property management business, you are generating a wealth of data doing inspections. And now you can start leveraging that data. How does it work? First of all, I can customize this view depending on who has access to the profile. This view will change whether I am an account owner, whether I'm a team leader overseeing various portfolios, or whether I am an agent. So it depends on who's logging in, who's seeing which kind of data. Now,
So
if we look at our
customized,
enterprise
James, so
insights
this
over
is
here.
customizable to every different user we have on RedRabbit, right?
Yes, depending on the user level of
Yes.
portfolio access, the
Okay,
data displayed here will adapt to each user logging in.
great. Brilliant.
Right. So what we can look at in Enterprise Insights is I can see what is happening in my world for the last week. So if we look at it, last week, I had a total of 4 inspections, of which 1 has been completed, 2 has been uploaded, and 1 has been scheduled. So I haven't done this inspection, so I'm falling behind. So I always say you can manage yourself. If we look at the bottom of the dashboard, if you've attended my training, I say look at the left-hand side and manage yourself. The team will be fine. This helps you to manage yourself even better. I can see where I'm behind now. Now, all of this information, it's no use having dead information. If I need to know the inspection that was scheduled that I didn't get to, you can click into it. So you can simply go and click on that, and I can see where is this inspection that I still need to do. And I can see it's one of my team members that is now falling behind on that. We need to go and reschedule that inspection. So it helps me to manage. We can then look at critical information. Inspections where I'm missing tenant signatures. We know it's vital for compliance. So no more dead data. If I click into it, it's going to open up, apply all these necessary filters for me, and I can see there's my 10 inspections where I have not obtained signatures. So it is really, really handy. You're generating data, but we can now start interpreting that data. Now, this is just from the home dashboard. We can click into insights for even more information, where you will be seeing inspections where we are missing tenant, inspector, or tenant and inspector signatures. Once again, all this information, you can click into it. So there's a big focus on click into functionality. I can see a number or a figure. Where does it come from? Then a very, very nice one that we have over here is inspection quality. Now, in a recent drive from our CST team, we would have reached out to the account owners of our clients, and we would say, we have done a review on your performance of the key parameters of RedRabbit. And this is what you really need to have in place to get the value from RedRabbit. But what you can see here is our developers have come up with this great tool over here that measures inspection quality. And it's based on what I have access to at this point in time. It will show me, do I make enough maintenance recommendations? Do I take enough pictures? Do I have proper tickets being opened from recommendations? All the parameters that help you to get more value from RedRabbit, you can see that. And it's based on all my portfolios. Now, I can tweak this in live environment, only show me from my own portfolio, and you will see the figures will now update and change. So it is
James,
really handy. You
James,
can manage yourself and your team.
On this note, James, I'm not happy with the quality of your photos you're taking, just so by the way, and you're a trainer, so you have to fix that. I want to just quickly pause here and say, this is a powerful tool. And this is helping us to improve the quality of our inspections, because it's not just a compliance document. If this is done correctly with the new enhancements, feature enhancements, we can now become real people, asset managers, that communicate once again value and advice to our investors. So James, I think this is world class, and it's in fact helping us to position ourselves as the professional, right?
Yes, completely. So in terms of self-management, but also portfolio management, you can see I have access to 5 out of 48 portfolios. So I would be, for instance, a type of team leader. I can see all my people who's reporting to me. I can see their performance. But as an account owner, I can see all 48 portfolios. So I could see the whole business performance over here. But you could also then drill down into information. What you can also see is status of recent inspections. Where are we at this point in time? Are we in scheduled phase? Are we predominantly in uploaded phase? Or have I completed the majority of my work? Then what is really nice, and I'm just going to reset my view here quickly to show me all my portfolios, is we can track, let's just apply that filter for us. We can track the time since last inspection on your assets. So we have 8 assets that have an inspection which occurred more than 3 years ago. So you can focus on assets which you are forgetting about to proactively manage those. I'm not going to go into too much more detail with regards to our inspections. I want to get to our maintenance as well. So I'm just going to quickly pivot to our maintenance. It first of all looks at our maintenance requests that came in, our unactioned requests. Once again, if you click onto it, it will show you that information. Then high priority overdue to-dos. So high priority tickets, what is happening there? That's the ticket that you want to get resolved within a day or two, but we are falling behind. So it applies all these filters for you, and you can focus on what's important. Now, if we look at the extra views under the insights, then you will see that we've broken it down to unactioned tenant requests, split over today, yesterday, and before that. Tickets requiring action, urgent tickets, medium priority tickets, and then the ones that are, let's face it, moving at a snail's pace. We need to have a look at those long-running tickets. You don't want old tickets, so you can manage those. Then a very nifty feature is the team workload. I can see who in my team is taking strain under maintenance tickets. I can see that there are 57 tickets under Leon's name. We need to take pressure off Leon and redistribute to other people to help them with it. Then in terms of individual performance, you can track your performance over 7 or 30 days, showing how long it takes me to resolve a high priority ticket. 148 days. We need to take action there. Medium priority tickets, 200 days. So this is where you can manage yourself, but also the team. Then we spoke about being asset managers. You can see where my high maintenance assets are. In our asset, my office, we have raised 248 tickets over the last 12 months. Now that is a red flag. I can now contact this landlord and say, Mr. or Mrs. Landlord, we have an issue over here. This asset of ours has had an extraordinarily high amount of maintenance tickets. Either we need to go into a full-scale refurbishing, or we need to hand off this asset and potentially obtain additional assets for you instead of having this one, which is turning into a money drain instead of an asset that is producing income for you. So this is Enterprise Insights. I'm not going to go into too much detail. We have a detailed training session that's coming up as well. But then, in terms of efficiency, what we've included, as you've mentioned, is quick views. Now, what I don't want is if I am busy working on a page and I move away from it, that all the filters that you've painstakingly applied now disappears. Now, if we quickly just look at this, we can set a quick view. Now, a quick view allows me to save a set of filters. Let's say we are looking for particular ticket phases. I want to manage billing and quotes. So I'm going to say we want to see only tickets where we are awaiting quotes or quote approval. And I'm going to apply that filter, and it filters out all that information for me. But now if I leave, I would have missed this. So I can now save this as a quick view. Save it as a new quick view. And I will save it as managing quotes. There it is saved now. Now I can close this and I can go to other inspections where you can see there's also quick views. You have your portfolio that also has quick views. You have your maintenance requests that we've also included quick views. But now I've navigated through 4 pages. If I go back to my maintenance and I want to see that quick view where we are managing quotes, I can simply click on that and it will apply that filter. I want to manage quotes. These are the tickets that are sitting with anything quote related on it. And by the way, you can set it as a default view. So this is a really, really powerful tool to help the people in the office manage their portfolios more effectively and efficiently.
James, multiple pages, quick views. I can set myself and I can come in the morning and I can check my few pages and I know what's going on in my business.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So it's not needed to be done every time. If I have my 5 preferred quick views, set them up, it's done, and every day that is my report. Awesome.
That is it. You simply open that quick view. It shows you the information that you want to see. You can always rename a quick view. You can always delete it if you shift in responsibility. You no longer deal with quotes, then you can remove that quick view to show something else which you would want. But this is a feature that I believe every single person on the portal will get some benefit from. So it is really, really exciting for a change to bring something to the portal. The app has seen some love in the recent events, but it is time that the portal receives something, and I believe this is really a game changer that we've provided here today, is enterprise insights that will really help you leverage that data that you generate during the inspection.
Well done, James. I think that deserves a hand. I do trust that our people online will also share the excitement of what's coming. Again, I think what we must see here as industry is the one solution, the two solutions working together as one, helping you with ultimate efficiencies and not needing to duplicate stuff, and the needed information on both solutions to help you to communicate your value better. And I think inspections and maintenance is seen as the lost cousin on most, or so let's call it the spare wheel. But the importance, if we do that correctly, how much value you actually bring to the investor. And again, the discussion about the 8%, 9% commission, you can, if this is done well, 11%, 10, 11% is not negotiable. And I say this from experience, not because I've read it in a book. We really believe that this is going to be a game changer for you on how you communicate. You've seen through these features that we're addressing, you can't manage what you can't measure. So you're helping each other as a team to help someone if there's a work overload, and also to manage what it can be done and can't be done in a week. In that way, to prevent disappointments, and I think that is where we're leading you. So JP, enterprise and your ecosystem within RedRabbit. Talk to us.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, just want to say thank you, James. I think we're quite brave to do a live demo, but all is well and ends well. So, well, congratulations on doing a live demo for such a large participant. Yeah, so RedRabbit today is the all-in-one solution in WeconnectU's ultimate rental ecosystem, and we're really all-in-one solution. What do we mean by that? We have today in RedRabbit, we have a RedRabbit app, because it's not only an inspections app anymore. We have ticketing on the go and tickets from inspections embedded into the RedRabbit app. We have rental account management, our WeConnectU integration, and also we have integrated maintenance management within RedRabbit solution. We have a tele-maintenance request portal, and today we're quite proud to say we don't have a reporting portal anymore. We have an insights portal, and ultimately we've branded it Enterprise Insights. And Enterprise has been the conversation for the better part of 12 months in RedRabbit, and ultimately the heart behind Enterprise was really making our clients more scalable, making them more profitable, and giving them a very fair transactional pricing module that's very future-proof. And that pricing model is quite easy. It aligns to the other solutions within WeConnectU. It aligns to the rental asset management solution. It aligns to our community management solution as well. And ultimately, that's a very fairer way of pricing RedRabbit's value in the market today. So in terms of enterprise Skulk, with the ticketing on a go and tickets from inspections that we have launched recently, and today Enterprise Insights, and quick views in the bulk of the other valuable the developments in the pipeline for RedRabbit is only available to our enterprise clientele, because we do feel the development and the amount of effort we're putting into that development should be available to them. And we slowly but surely we're embarking on a journey with the remainder of our client base to get them over to the enterprise model, and ultimately that will be the only model in RedRabbit for the foreseeable future. So today, the remainder of the RedRabbit clients would have been contacted by a business development manager, or by me, or by their customer success consultant. And ultimately, as James mentioned as well, our drive Skulk will be to contact them, to look at the business and give them an overview of the inspection and maintenance portfolio, the health of the solution, and how can we assist them, give them better training, give them tools in their hands to become a rental asset manager. And ultimately from there, and drive would be then to move them over to enterprise and get these new functionality and value in their hands as soon as possible. And we made it a little bit easier as well, for everybody in the call who's not on enterprise today. Please scan the QR code that you can see on the screen there, and then we can get that value that you saw today in your hands ASAP, and also make sure that your team, has sufficient training and sufficient tools at their disposal to really pivot from just doing an inspection and just doing maintenance, and ultimately get them to become a rental asset manager.
Great. I think more than half our clients are already on the enterprise subscription. So there is the QR code at the end of the event. There's also a short survey, and you can just obviously notify us there, and we will make contact with you. JP, thank you. This is world class. Thank you for the work being done. So middle November, this will be live for our existing enterprise clients, and there's two QR codes if you want to book yourself on these events for the 13th of November and also the 18th of November, where we'll be doing training for these two new enhancements. I have got a guest speaker today with us as well. And before I get Alan on board, I just want to quickly say that we're going to do the prize draw in a few slides, in a few minutes. There's still time to share and go online and share your excitement of what we've built. And I want to maybe wrap and say, Alan, first of all, thank you for joining us today. You've been a client since 2022. I remember the day in your office where we introduced the concept of rental asset management, and it was like, Skalk, this is what industry needs. I want to ask you, so first of all, thank you, Alan. You process a lot of money, I think billions on our platform. Maybe just take us to the journey where it started. The first day when we introduced this to you, and what went through your mind, and why was this is the next thing for you?
Yeah, Skalk, it seems such a long time ago, and it's only basically 3 years ago when we first met here at Century City in Cape Town. And at that time, when you met with me, we were basically rental agents. We were collecting rent, and we were very proudly marketing ourselves as rental agents. And you introduced that concept of asset management, and we sometimes refer to it as rental asset management, but also in our particular case, residential asset management. And that was a wake-up call for us. It just introduced a whole new concept, and I was immediately excited by it. And you held us hand through that transition phase of elevating our image in the marketplace from the typical rental agent to an asset manager.
Alan, let's not beat around the bush. It's obviously a new concept. It was back then. It does take time for your team to adopt that and to position themselves as managers. Do you believe, or maybe can you give advice to people that's online today of how you have sort of introduced this and how you slowly position yourself as the asset manager and not just the rental administrator?
Yeah, Scott, not so much emphasis on slow. We wanted to jump in straight away here and make that transition. So we basically forced it upon our agents to adopt that mindset. And it all comes about by changing the vocabulary that they use.
Yes.
So we shied away from referring to the property owner as a landlord. He was now an investor. And the commission we refer to as a management fee. That was the biggest stumbling block, was to get the word commission out of our system and look at it as a management fee. But I'll tell you where it has really helped us is that we have a number of multiple of property owners, investors that own multiple properties. And that's where it really does kick in. More so than just an individual owning one property. When they've got a portfolio, it's even more important that they realize that we are treating their asset as an asset and not just a rental property.
Would you say, Alan, that you've mentioned briefly, obviously quite a bit of training for your team in terms of the concept of asset management. Did you have the feedback from your team that it was well received, and did they feel better about themselves having these conversations with investors?
100%. And that's a good point. You know, it's not just about how we put ourselves out in the marketplace to our investors, but it's also about how our managers are now perceiving the role that they play, the important role that they play in managing somebody's asset portfolio. So it really elevated their status In the past, the rental agent in our office was secondary to a sales agent. It was a service that we offered, an after-sales service. But that switched around. Our rental agents now, our portfolio managers, etc., are the stars here because they're providing that ongoing income, that residual income that's coming in every single month, and they are perceived by their colleagues as star performers as such.
Great feedback. Maybe last question, Alan, before we go. You have also mentioned that you have experienced growth and be able to scale better. Maybe just to share to the audience today why you believe you've experienced growth, and as a founder principal, how you manage today this world of your rental asset management portfolio.
Yeah, Scott, we certainly wouldn't have been able to sustain the growth that we had back in 2022. We had a portfolio of about 300 properties, half a billion maximum asset value. And today we're sitting just on 800 properties. Wow. With a valuation of 1.6 billion now. And what's interesting, talking about the dashboard and the reporting and all that, is to see the capital growth that's happened with those properties. The purchase value of those properties is sitting at around about 1.2 billion, but the current valuation, which we update our valuations every 3 months. We're in a dynamic market here, so we do those valuation updates quarterly, and to see the growth is phenomenal. And then that obviously comes across in the investors' reports, and it certainly helps it big time in when we launch a new project, get that same investor based on the track record to be able to add to his portfolio. So the platform, the software platform, it really enabled us to sustain that growth and to continue growing. We couldn't do it without the software.
Alan, thank you. I think I want to say thank you for buying into the mission and the vision of shaping a better industry for all of us. And I think well done for the adoption you've already had. And also thank you for the challenges you give us every now and then. I think the commission management fee was one of your ideas that you put forward. Love that. And I invite all our clients to give us feedback, because we came from industry and we want to make sure we partner with you on this journey. Alan, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. I know you're a busy man. Good luck for the rest of the week, and we really value your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacques. Just in closing, I just want to pick up on that point that you said there, and you opened this webinar with that, saying that you're in partnership with us. And that's been a great help, is that you have an open book. We can come with suggestions, discuss it, can it work or not work? And it understandably it needs to be industry related and can't just be specific for one agency's quirky ways. And we really value that. And I must say thank you to you and your team. And keep it up.
Thank you. Keep us accountable. Thank you, Alan. Book yourself on these events for the 13th of November and also the 18th of November, where we'll be doing training for these two new enhancements. I have got a guest speaker today with us as well. And before I get Alan on board, I just want to quickly say that we're going to do the prize draw in a few slides, in a few minutes. There's still time to share and go online and share your excitement of what we've built. And I want to maybe wrap and say, Alan, first of all, thank you for joining us today. You've been a client since 2022. I remember the day in your office where we introduced the concept of rental asset management, and it was like, Skalk, this is what industry needs. I want to ask you, so first of all, thank you, Alan. You process a lot of money, I think billions on our platform. Maybe just take us to the journey where it started. The first day when we introduced this to you, and what went through your mind, and why was this is the next thing for you?
Yeah, Skalk, it seems such a long time ago, and it's only basically 3 years ago when we first met here at Century City in Cape Town. And At that time, when you met with me, we were basically rental agents. We were collecting rent, and we were very proudly marketing ourselves as rental agents. And you introduced that concept of asset management, and we sometimes refer to it as rental asset management, but also in our particular case, residential asset management. And that was a wake-up call for us. It just introduced a whole new concept, and I was immediately excited by it. And you held us hand through that transition phase of elevating our image in the marketplace from the typical rental agent to an asset manager.
Alan, let's not beat around the bush. It's obviously a new concept. It was back then. It does take time for your team to adopt that and to position themselves as asset managers. Do you believe, or maybe can you give advice to people that's online today of how you have sort of introduced this and how you slowly position yourself as the asset manager and not just the rental administrator?
Yeah, Scott, not so much emphasis on slow. We wanted to jump in straight away here and make that transition. So we basically forced it upon our agents to adopt that mindset. And it all comes about by changing the vocabulary that they use.
Yes.
So we shied away from referring to the property owner as a landlord. He was now an investor. And the commission we refer to as a management fee. That was the biggest stumbling block, was to get the word commission out of our system and look at it as a management fee. But I'll tell you where it has really helped us is that we have a number of multiple of property owners, investors that own multiple properties. And that's where it really does kick in. More so than just an individual owning one property. When they've got a portfolio, it's even more important that they realize that we are treating their asset as an asset and not just a rental property.
Would you say, Alan, that you've mentioned briefly, obviously quite a bit of training for your team in terms of the concept of asset management. Did you have the feedback from your team that it was well received, and did they feel better about themselves having these conversations with investors?
100%, 100%. And that's a good point. It's not just about how we put ourselves out in the marketplace and to our investors, but it's also about how our managers are now perceiving the role that they play, the important role that they play in managing somebody's asset portfolio. So it really elevated their status. In the past, the rental agent in our office was secondary to a sales agent. It was a service that we offered, an after-sales service. But that switched around. Our rental agents now, our portfolio managers, etc., are the stars here because they're providing that ongoing income, that residual income that's coming in every single month, and they are perceived by their colleagues as star performers as such.
Great feedback. Maybe last question, Alan, before we go. You have also mentioned that you have experienced growth and be able to scale better. Maybe just to share to the audience today why you believe you've experienced growth, and as a founder principal, how you manage today this world of your rental asset management portfolio.
Yeah, Scott, we certainly wouldn't have been able to sustain the growth that we had back in 2022. We had a portfolio of about 300 properties, half a billion maximum asset value. And today we're sitting just on 800 properties. Wow. With a valuation of 1.6 billion now. And what's interesting, talking about the dashboard and the reporting and all that, is to see the capital growth that's happened with those properties. The purchase value of those properties is sitting at around about 1.2 billion, but the current valuation, which we update our valuations every 3 months. We're in a dynamic market here. So we do those valuation updates quarterly, and to see the growth is phenomenal. And then that obviously comes across in the investors' reports, and it certainly helps it big time in when we launch a new project. Get that same investor, based on the track record, to be able to add to his portfolio. So the platform, the software platform, it really enabled us to sustain that growth and to continue growing. We couldn't do it without the software.
Alan, thank you. I think I want to say thank you for buying into the mission and the vision of shaping a better industry for all of us. And I think well done for the adoption you've already had, and also thank you for the challenges you give us every now and then. I think the commission management fee was one of your ideas that you put forward. Love that, and I invite all our clients to give us feedback, because we came from industry and we want to make sure we partner with you on this journey. Alan, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. I know you're a busy man. Good luck for the rest of the week, and we really value your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacques. Just in closing, I just want to pick up on that point that you said there, and you opened this webinar with that, saying that you're in partnership with us. And that's been a great help, is that you have an open book. We can come with suggestions, discuss it, can it work or not work? And understandably, it needs to be industry related and can't just be specific for one agency's quirky ways. And we really value that. And I must say thank you to you and your team, and keep it up.
Thank you. Keep us accountable. Thank you, Alan.